In this tutorial module, I'll cover the topic of editing MIDI data in Digital Orchestrator Plus. Let's begin by taking a look at editing in the track screen. Typically, this is where most macro or song editing is done. Bars of music can be edited in two ways. The first is the conventional cut, copy, paste manner. Just highlight the bars to be copied and select Copy from the Edit menu. Click on the location where you want the data to be pasted and select Paste. A more efficient way of editing, however, is by using the drag and control drag techniques. By highlighting an area and then clicking on it, I can drag and drop it on any location. If I hold down the Control key while dragging, the program leaves behind a copy. This can be done with one bar to repeat a drum pattern or an entire multi-track verse or chorus section. In addition to copying bars, you can also control drag an entire track to make a copy of the note data and all the track parameters. By the way, tracks can be reordered by dragging them up and down. This is useful for keeping related tracks together, such as drums and percussion. Now let's take a look at how note editing is done in the piano roll window. As in the track window, there are a number of ways notes can be edited. To begin with, notes can be inserted and deleted by selecting the appropriate cursor mode. The pencil tool allows you to insert notes of a preset duration or draw them in to any desired length. To erase a bad note, select the Eraser tool from the toolbar, then click on the note you wish to delete. By the way, right-clicking in this window will display a menu for changing the cursor modes quickly. Of course, you can also use the Selection tool to highlight a range of notes, and use the Cut, Copy, and Paste features in the Edit menu. Besides inserting and deleting notes, I can also change a note's parameters by clicking and dragging the note. Each note has 3 zones when you move your cursor over it. When I place the cursor over the left side of the note, the right-left arrow appears, indicating that I can move the note right and left to adjust its start time. When the cursor is placed over the middle of the note, it changes to an up and down arrow, indicating that I can now change the note's pitch location. Lastly, moving the cursor over the right side of the note allows me to adjust the length or duration of the note. For more precise note editing, double-clicking on a note displays the note's numerical values. These can be adjusted, and the results will be displayed graphically in the piano roll window when the Edit window is closed. Entire ranges of notes can be modified in the same drag and drop manner. For example, I can highlight a range of notes, move the cursor to the left of the selection, and drag the entire range to the left or right to create an offset. Or make a legato melody staccato by moving the cursor over the right side of the selection and dragging to the left. Lastly, I can easily remap a drum note for an entire track by selecting the note range from the keyboard display and dragging every instance of that note in the track to a different pitch. How's that for convenience? Up to now, I have been dealing with note events exclusively. Non-note MIDI events such as pitch bend, modulation, embedded patch changes, and MIDI controllers are edited in the Event List editor. Although you've briefly seen how to insert an event in the Screen Tour module, let's take a look at specifically what can be done in this window. I'll begin by inserting a few events. One popular technique is to insert patch changes in the middle of a track. For example, if I wanted the bass part to play a different sound at the chorus of the song, I could simply insert a patch change at the chorus section. To do this, I'll first click on the Insert button. Then I'll select Patch Change in the type display. I'll adjust the insert point, which should be just before the chorus starts, giving the synthesizer enough time to change sounds. Then choose the new sound. When I press OK, the event will be inserted into the track at the desired location. To modify this event, I simply select it and press the Change button. This will display the Event Edit dialog, allowing me to modify the event. Another common technique is to insert volume controller messages throughout the track. Volume is one of many different types of MIDI controller messages that can be sent to a synthesizer. Once again, I will click on the Insert button. Choose Controllers as the type. Then I'll select the controller type to insert, in this case, volume. Each controller has a value. Here the value represents the volume level that will be set. Lastly, I'll set the insert time and press OK to place the event in the track. Sometimes it is desirable to remove certain types of events. For example, if you would use the modulation wheel while recording a part and you wanted to remove the modulation, you could do so as follows. First, I'll select the Filter button to display the filter dialog. Then, uncheck all event types except for Controllers, Modulation, and press OK. Now, only the modulation events will be displayed in the Event List editor. The others are filtered out. To remove the modulation commands, highlight the events and press the Delete button. The last type of event I'd like to mention is the tempo event. It is fairly common to want to change tempos during a song. This is done by inserting tempo events at different times in the conductor track. I'll choose the conductor track from the track selection and click on Insert. Notice that the event types are different this time in the Event Edit dialog. The interface works the same, however. I'll select Tempo as the event type, set the tempo value, and set the time when I want the tempo event to take place. As you can see, many of Digital Orchestrator's features share a common interface. You should find that most recording tasks are very easy to accomplish because the interface is so intuitive. I encourage you to experiment. Don't forget that there is a multi-level undo, so you can always go back if you make a mistake. This concludes the MIDI editing demonstration. To learn about the powerful set of MIDI transforms, please select the MIDI Transforms item from the tutorial menu.